Why are Jews called God's chosen people? This question echoes through millennia, carrying pride, responsibility, and sometimes pain. The phrase is loaded with meaning, shaped by biblical covenants, tragedy, and resilience. It began with a promise under a starry sky, a mission, not a privilege, that still shapes Jewish identity today. Please like, share, and subscribe for more. Chosenness began as a religious idea, but it's much more. It shaped Jewish history, politics, and identity, connecting Jews from ancient Babylon to modern Jerusalem. This belief fueled a journey through exile and return, inspiring the creation of Israel in 1948. And it's not exclusive. Anyone can join, making this story both ancient and ever-renewing. The story of Jewish chosenness begins with Abraham, called by a singular God to leave everything behind and journey into the unknown. God promised to make his descendants a great nation, not for their own sake, but to bless all peoples on earth. This covenant was a mission, an assignment to bring a universal message of ethical monotheism to humanity. Enslaved in Egypt, Abraham's descendants seemed forgotten, until Moses led a dramatic exodus, reclaiming their purpose. At Mount Sinai, amidst thunder and lightning, Israel received the Torah, a divine law shaping them into a holy nation. Chosenness now meant a shared commitment to God's law, making their society a living testament to justice and faith. The Bible makes clear, being chosen brings not ease but responsibility. Israel's closeness to God meant higher standards and harsher consequences for failure, exile, suffering, and loss. Yet the covenant also promised enduring hope. No matter how far the people strayed, they would never be abandoned. To be chosen is to live between burden and blessing, a path of challenge, resilience, and ultimate purpose. The covenant at Sinai gave Israel its laws, but its mission, first promised to Abraham, was always universal. Isaiah's vision of Israel as an Or Goyim, a light unto the nations, meant their chosenness was to inspire, not isolate. Israel's task model, a just, compassionate society living by Torah to show the world a moral path. The prophets foresaw a future when all nations would seek wisdom in Jerusalem, and the knowledge of God would fill the earth. Chosenness was never about superiority, but about bearing the responsibility to be a moral example for humanity. This mission shaped Jewish identity and destiny, setting the stage for their historical journey. Israel's unique identity, rooted in a single God and law, clashed with ancient empires demanding conformity. When Babylon destroyed the temple and exiled the Jews, most expected them to vanish. But their covenantal identity endured. The Torah became their portable constitution, sustaining them through exile and oppression. Under the Greeks, forced assimilation led to the Maccabean revolt and Hanukkah, a declaration that identity was worth fighting for. Rome's destruction of the Second Temple and the long exile should have ended the nation, but chosenness kept Jewish identity alive. Their survival was a conscious choice, rooted in a sense of destiny. The Jewish nation became one that lived in time, not just in place. In exile, Jews became a nation without a state, surviving through community Torah and law. Their distinctiveness brought both resilience and suffering, admired for their achievements but targeted as outsiders. In Christian and Islamic lands, Jews faced segregation, forced conversions, and persecution, their chosenness twisted into a mark of blame. Yet chosenness gave meaning to suffering, framing it as a test and fueling hope for redemption. Their rituals and calendar kept the memory of their mission alive, even in the darkest times. This difference inspired both awe and suspicion, making Jews both intermediaries and scapegoats. Survival came at a price, but their identity endured. For centuries, the dream of returning to Zion was spiritual, next year in Jerusalem. But the 19th century made it political. Rising nationalism and violent anti-Semitism convinced many Jews that only a sovereign homeland could ensure survival. Theodor Herzl's vision transformed ancient hope into Zionism, a movement for Jewish self-determination in their ancestral land. Zionists encouraged immigration, built settlements, revived Hebrew, and lobbied for international support. The movement faced immense challenges, Arab opposition, internal divisions, but was driven by a 2,000-year-old longing. Zionism recast chosenness as a modern quest for nationhood and safety. The dream of return became a political reality in the making. The Holocaust's devastation made the need for a Jewish state undeniable. After World War II, the UN voted to partition Palestine, Jews accepted, Arabs rejected, and war erupted. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared Israel's independence, the first Jewish state in nearly 2 millennia. Israel's birth was both a secular and spiritual fulfillment, seen as the realization of ancient promises. The new state survived invasion, but the conflict created new challenges, including the Palestinian refugee crisis. Israel's establishment was the ultimate expression of Jewish resilience and the enduring power of identity. In the 21st century, Israel has transformed Jewish chosenness into a living reality, bringing pride, security, and cultural vitality, but also new challenges. The power of the state means its actions are scrutinized, fueling both inspiration and controversy. Chosenness remains not a privilege, but a call to a difficult, unending mission in the modern world. Many think Judaism is only for those born into it, but from its earliest days, the door has always been open. Anyone from any background can join the covenant through sincere commitment, not just by birth. The Torah commands love for the newcomer, reminding us that chosenness is about shared responsibility, not ethnicity. The open door remains, welcoming all who wish to join. The idea of joining the Jewish people is ancient, rooted in the Bible's stories of outsiders becoming part of Israel. Ruth, a Moabite, famously declared to Naomi, "Your people will be my people, and your God my God." Her choice placed a convert at the heart of Israel's royal lineage, showing that belonging is defined by commitment, not ancestry. Over the centuries, the informal process of joining the Jewish people seen in the Bible evolved into a structured, formal procedure overseen by rabbinic authorities. This process, known as giyur, is not taken lightly and is designed to ensure the sincerity and preparedness of the candidate. Judaism does not actively seek out converts. In fact, tradition dictates that a potential convert should be turned away 3 times. This is not meant to be a rejection, but rather a test of commitment. It forces the individual to reflect deeply on their motivations and to understand the gravity of the decision they are making. It emphasizes that becoming Jewish is not a casual choice, but a life-altering transformation. The conversion journey itself is a period of intense study and personal growth. The candidate works closely with a sponsoring rabbi and is required to appear before a Beit Din, a religious court of 3 learned individuals, traditionally 3 rabbis for Orthodox and conservative conversions. During this period, the prospective Jew learns about Jewish law, holidays, history, theology, and the Hebrew language. More importantly, they begin to live a Jewish life, observing the Sabbath, keeping kosher dietary laws, and participating in the life of a synagogue community. This practical immersion is crucial, as Judaism is a religion of action and community as much as it is one of belief. The process culminates in a series of final rituals that formally mark the individual's entry into the covenant. For men, this includes circumcision, or a symbolic drawing of blood if already circumcised. Both men and women must then immerse themselves in a mikveh, a ritual bath of natural water. This immersion symbolizes a spiritual rebirth, a cleansing of the past, and the emergence of a new Jewish soul. At this moment, before the Beit Din, the convert formally accepts the yoke of the commandments and is given a Hebrew name. From that point forward, they are considered fully and completely Jewish in every respect. This rigorous path underscores the seriousness with which Judaism views the covenant. It's not an easy identity to adopt, nor is it meant to be. The journey is designed to be transformative, to reshape one's entire worldview and daily life. It ensures that those who join the Jewish people do so with a full understanding of the responsibilities they are undertaking. The process is a testament to the belief that while the door to Judaism is open, the path through it requires profound dedication, study, and a sincere desire to link one's personal destiny with the collective destiny of the Jewish people. Once the conversion process is complete, the new Jew, or Ger Tzedek, that is righteous convert, is considered as Jewish as someone born into the faith. The great medieval philosopher Maimonides wrote that a convert should pray using the same words as any other Jew, including phrases like our God and God of our fathers, because Abraham is now their spiritual ancestor. In the eyes of Jewish law and tradition, their former identity is shed, and they are reborn as a child of Abraham and Sarah. They are not Jewish by choice or a Jew in training. They are simply a Jew, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. This equality is a fundamental principle. The convert is bound to observe all the same commandments, celebrates the same holidays, and mourns the same tragedies as any other member of the Jewish people. Their soul is considered to have been present at Mount Sinai, when the Torah was given, retroactively joining in that foundational national experience. This mystical concept emphasizes that Jewishness is a spiritual state, not merely a biological one. The community is obligated to embrace the convert, to avoid reminding them of their past, and to treat them with love and respect as a full member of the family. Becoming a Jew means inheriting a rich and complex identity that is simultaneously a religion, a culture, a nationality, and a family. It means joining a 4,000-year-old conversation and linking one's personal story to a grand historical narrative. It involves embracing a calendar that sanctifies time, a set of dietary laws that sanctify the body, and a legal system that sanctifies society. It also means accepting a share in the fate of the Jewish people, including the reality of anti-Semitism and the responsibility to stand with the Jewish community, both in Israel and in the diaspora, through its challenges and its triumphs. Ultimately, to become a Jew is to answer a personal call to be part of this specific covenantal story. People convert for many reasons. Some are drawn by the intellectual rigor of Jewish thought, others by the warmth of its community and family life, and many feel a profound, unexplainable sense of coming home. Regardless of the initial motivation, the outcome is the same. They cease to be an outsider looking in and become an essential part of the living tapestry of the Jewish people, a testament to the fact that the path of the chosen is a path that can in fact be chosen. The reality of conversion throughout the ages, combined with the global dispersion of the Jewish people, has created a community of stunning diversity. This fact stands as a powerful refutation of the anti-Semitic canard that Judaism is a race. The Jewish people are not a monolithic ethnic group, they are a multi-ethnic, multiracial people united by a shared history, faith, and sense of destiny. A walk through any major city with a diverse Jewish population, or a visit to modern Israel, reveals the incredible spectrum of Jewish faces, cultures, and origins. It is a peoplehood that transcends the narrow confines of race. You will find Jews whose ancestors never left the Middle East, and Ashkenazi Jews whose roots lie in Central and Eastern Europe. There are Sephardic Jews from Spain, Portugal, and North Africa with their own unique language, Ladino, and rich traditions. The Beta Israel community from Ethiopia has a history stretching back millennia, and their journey to Israel in the late 20th century was a modern-day Exodus story. There are the B'nai Menashe from northeastern India, who claim descent from the lost tribe of Israel, and vibrant Jewish communities in Latin America, Australia, and across Asia. This mosaic of cultures is a living testament to the global journey of the Jewish people. Into this already diverse mix come modern-day converts from every conceivable background. In the United States alone, converts to Judaism come from every race and ethnicity, bringing their own unique cultural perspectives and life experiences to the Jewish community. You will find people of African American, Hispanic, and East Asian descent choosing to become Jewish, enriching their local synagogues and communities. This ongoing process of inclusion ensures that the Jewish people continue to evolve and reflect the globalized world in which they live. The idea of a single Jewish look is a myth. The reality is a beautiful and varied tapestry. This diversity is the ultimate proof that Jewish identity is not about genetics, but about connection to a covenant. Whether one's Jewishness comes through a long line of maternal ancestors or through a personal journey culminating in a mikveh, the destination is the same. All are part of the Am Yisrael, the people of Israel. The concept of chosenness, therefore, applies to this entire diverse collective. It is a mission undertaken by a global family composed of people from all the nations of the world who are united by their commitment to a shared past and a common future, proving that the family of Abraham and Sarah is still welcoming new children today. In our globalized world, Jewish identity remains anchored by the ancient idea of chosenness, a sense of purpose connecting past and present. This framework links Jews across generations, inspiring community, responsibility, and a drive to make a difference. In a world searching for meaning, the Jewish story offers a model of identity rooted in purpose and connection. The idea of chosenness inspires resilience as Jewish communities face evolving anti-Semitism, from old prejudices to new forms like anti-Zionism. This sense of purpose transforms adversity into strength, encouraging pride, rebuilding, and celebration. It offers a reason to remain distinct, passing on a meaningful heritage and identity to new generations and shaping the ongoing story of the Jewish people. In a divided world, the Jewish mission to be a light unto the nations is more urgent than ever. Through Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, Jews act for the good of all humanity. The Jewish story is one of resilience and hope, showing that even in darkness, the flame of hope endures. Today, this mission calls us all to justice, compassion, and peace, bringing light into the darkness. Why are Jews called God's chosen people? It's not about privilege, but responsibility, a destiny of duty, not dominion. To be chosen means carrying a message of justice and ethical monotheism, a mission that brings both suffering and meaning. Chosenness is a partnership, a call to live by values and contribute to humanity, a story still unfolding today. The Jewish people have endured exile, persecution, and even attempts at annihilation, yet they remain. This survival is no accident, but the result of an unbroken chain of tradition, passed from generation to generation. To be a Jew today is to be the newest link in this ancient chain, connecting past to present and carrying forward a shared mission and memory. In the end, the story of the chosen people is an open one. It is a narrative that continues to be written by every Jew today, whether born into the covenant or having chosen to enter it. The mission that began with a single family is now carried by a global, diverse people, united by a shared sense of purpose. This purpose, to bring light, justice, and a sense of holiness into a fractured world, remains as relevant in the 21st century as it was in the age of the prophets. It is not a declaration of having arrived at a destination, but a commitment to an ongoing journey, a perpetual striving to live up to a divine and demanding calling. This journey is defined by its core belief that human beings, in partnership with God, can help to heal and repair the world. It is an optimistic and activist faith, one that refuses to accept the world as it is and insists on working towards the world as it ought to be. This is the ultimate meaning of being a chosen people, chosen not for special treatment but for special duties. It is a charge to fight for the powerless, to pursue knowledge, to argue for the sake of heaven, and to build communities rooted in compassion and righteousness. This is the light that Israel was tasked to shine among the nations. The path of the Jewish people has never been easy, and it remains challenging today. It requires courage, resilience, and a deep well of hope. But it is also a path of profound joy, intellectual stimulation, and deep communal connection. It is the story of a people who, despite everything, have never lost their capacity to celebrate life, to laugh, to create, and to dream of a better world. The story of the chosen people is ultimately a story about the enduring power of the human spirit when it is animated by a great and noble purpose. And so, this ancient calling echoes into our modern world. It is an invitation to a life of meaning, a life connected to a grand historical narrative and a hopeful future. It is a reminder that our lives can be part of something larger than ourselves. The real story of God's chosen people is not one of exclusion, but one of a specific mission for the good of all. It is a journey that began thousands of years ago, and it is a journey that continues today, open to all who feel the call to walk a path of purpose, responsibility, and unwavering hope. In Romans 11:31, it's show that we are able to become Jews if we keep the commandments of God. Please like, share, and subscribe.